Here's a Freedom of Information request from Kent Police. And it's basically someone's asked them, as you may be aware, this Channel 5 show often features police officers. The bailiff, name supplied, is seen and heard in Series 1, Episode 1, telling a homeowner, don't worry if he calls the police, the tenant. They take instructions from us. I have contacted name supplied and explained that legislation recently brought in would make it a criminal offence for the police to assist a bailiff, as it is a civil matter. I accept that police are called upon, but they are only there to prevent a breach of the peace unless a criminal act has taken place. Name supplied is adamant that police take orders from him. Would you please inform me just what assistance Kent Police would give, if any, and could you also advise, name supplied, that to say this on national TV gives the viewers the impression that the police are on the side of the bailiffs and not that of the general public. I have contacted Channel 5. You may also like to advise your chief constable, as his or her officers are being used in a way they would not want, and you may also like to advise your officers that they do not have to attend unless a crime has taken place. Response. Under the Freedom of Information, blah, blah, blah. What assistance would Kent Police give to a bailiff? This recovery is a civil matter. Any assistance given would be to address any breaches of the peace and would not be in the recovery of goods. Thank you for your interest, King Kent Police. If you have any queries, blah, blah, blah. So basically they're telling you the police are not supposed to, I'm not saying they don't, but they are not supposed to aid a bailiff in any way, shape or form. I've seen them breach that many, many times. I've got video of them breaching that many, many times. Wow, I can feel that flu shot working already. Sir Ian Duncan Smith, man whose welfare policies killed up to 130,000 people, gets knighted. Meanwhile, his vile universal credit continues to destroy others' lives. Arise, Sir Murderer. What media manipulation looks like. On the left, you have a child, not a scientist, reports propaganda she's being fed. On the right, a climatologist, chair of the School of Earth and Atmospheric Science, Georgia Institute of Technology 2002 to 2013, member of the National Research Council's Climate Research Committee, has published over 140 scientific papers and books on climate. Says it's all a hoax. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. The pain is only felt by others. The same thing happens when you're stupid. Body organs of over 15,000 Syrians sold in 6 years, Coroner's Office. Director General of the Syrian Coroner's Office, Hussein Noufel, disclosed that the body organs of thousands of Syrian civilians have been sold in the international black markets over the past 6 years. We have accurate information that over 25,000 surgical operations have been conducted in the refugee camps on the neighbouring countries and in the terrorist-controlled areas of Syria since 2011 to take out the body organs of 15,000 Syrians and sell them on the international black market, Dr. Nuffel said. He pointed to the high price of human body organs in the black market and said a kidney is sold for $10,000 in Turkey, while the same kidney is sold for $1,000 in Iraq. But in Lebanon and Syria, the price of each kidney is $3,000. Dr. Nuffel said that other human body organs, such as spleen and corona, are also sold in the black markets. According to the latest reports, the children who have been rescued from the camps of Abu Dalla, Mohammeda al-Mashini, a senior al-Qaeda-linked cleric and the religious leader of Jaish al-Fatah terrorist group, are now threatened with the danger of trafficking their body organs by the terrorists. Local sources in Idlib province told Al-Kabar newspaper that during the past 2 weeks, 15 people have been kidnapped from different districts, most of them children. Also, social media activists have released tens of messages and warned the Idlib residents of the possibility of abduction of their children and trafficking of their body organs by the terrorist groups, saying that most of the kidnapped children have been transferred to Turkey. Local sources in several districts of Idlib have reported that only over 10 children have been abducted in different parts of the province, including Kafuma, Jidar Bekel Ford, Atma, Jizra, Al-Sheikh and Al-Faqih by the militants. Also, the locals source in Sarmandas told North Al-Adlib said that a number of militants driving a white van abducted a 10-year-old child, but they faced the residents' resistance and were arrested but sources said they were freed by Fatah al-Asham, formerly known as al-Nusura, prisoner of the same day. Quantum internet is near. Scientists teleport data between chips for the first time. Filling up your computer with cat pictures and memes through the quantum internet is apparently one step closer, as scientists manage to instantly teleport data between two chips that are not connected for that very first time. Quantum computers are the dream of modern physicists, as they could solve problems that are too difficult for today's most powerful supercomputers, but creating them requires learning how to manage the elusive quantum particles, which are smaller than atoms. Scientists from the University of Bristol and the Technical University of Denmark have created chip-scale devices that are able to utilize quantum physics to manipulate single particles of light. The team findings have been published in the journal Natural Physics. In one of the experiments with the chips, described as a breakthrough, the researchers were able to demonstrate the quantum teleportation of information between two programmable devices for the very first time using a physical process known as quantum entanglement. And I got this today on Fascist Book. This post is against our community standards. And if we look down, is it getting close to guillotine time for Macron? That's the post that they've blocked in some, not all, because I post it all over the place, but in some. Again, Facebook doing its free hate speech games as usual. Death trap. Councils get just 27p from every pound collected by bailiffs, and it's pushing households into debt. That is the plan. Councils are being urged to stop using bailiffs to collect debts over fears this outdated regulation is pushing struggling families deeper into debt. It comes as new research for Money Help charity Citizens Advice shows councils get just 27p from every pound collected by bailiffs, and the other 83p goes directly into the bailiffs' pockets. That's why they're so aggressive. That's why they don't give a shit what they're told they can do. They'll just ignore it and do whatever they like. The charity says bailiffs cost 53p for every £1 they recover, of which most of these costs are paid by the indebted person. Citizens Advice argues this money could instead be used to pay back council tax arrears. Currently, when households miss just one council tax payment, they become liable to pay up the full year's bill in one go, except for the fact there's no liability order ever issued by a court. It's all done by the council. Total and utter fraud. But hey, you know, if you're just going to sit there and take it, they'll continue to do it. If they fail to do so, councils can use court process to collect debts. Tackling debt can seem like a daunting task, but there's plenty of help available to get you back in the clear. We've taken a look at what you can do to help you on the way. Get help for free. There are lots of groups who can help you with your debts. Citizens Advice, Step Change, National Debt Line. Don't ignore bills. Ignoring your bills, well, yeah, all the rest is just, you know, the bullshit how to pay basically. But there you go. It's deliberately designed to cost the most poor the most money and put them into debt. The 74 Met police officers who brought shame on the force this year. Those named below failed to uphold the high standards expected by metropolitan police officers. Yeah, none of them are worthy of anything. They're all useless. Avi Mahadja, Adam Provan and Andrew Muside are just 3 of the officers who face misconduct hearings this year, and they'll get nothing happen to them. When a metropolitan police officer commits a crime, a police constable, not an officer. Officer is money collection. Constable is protect the citizens. Commits a crime or fails to uphold the standards of behaviour expected of them, a misconduct hearing is held. A qualified panel for other cops decides whether the officer can continue serving, whether they should be given a written warning or dismissed from the force. However, due to the backlog of cases, this is often months or even years after the event has taken place. Ranging from convicted rapists to drunk and disorderly, here are the offenders who brought shame on this for the force this year. The list does not include the case of Britain's most senior female police officer, Superintendent Novelette Robin Williams, as she is currently appealing her criminal conviction. Pleaded guilty to drink driving. A detective sergeant was dismissed without notice on December 19th after pleading guilty to drink driving. DS John Connor pleaded guilty to Basel magistrates on August 12th. He has yet to be sentenced. Breaching non-molestation order. A police sergeant was dismissed without notice on December 19th for breaching a non-molestation order. PS Dean Reid, an officer for Roads and Traffic Policing Command, appeared at Colchester. Now, if you want to read the rest of them, links, as usual, are in the description. And there are 70-odd more others. Public schools are brainwashing factories for children. Dumbing Us Down by John Gatto is a book that gives you the red pill on modern education and how it is tragically failing those who have to endure it. Since I am a product of the public schools in a predominantly democratic state, Maryland, and received a steroidal dose of liberal brainwashing in university, it's a small miracle that I have been able to fully digest the red pill, since the whole point of the educated me was to keep me ignorant and keep us all ignorant. Again, links in description if you want to read a little bit more. This is one I strongly suggest you do look into. Very interesting, as is the video. Ancient flying machine vimana discovered in underground chamber of Indian temple. You're about to see the actual footage of a secret chamber in the ancient temple of Syrians, India. The secret chamber of the at least 2,000 years old, and it was discovered in 2015, and it contains many mysterious enigmas. As soon as the chamber was opened, authorities closed it and sealed it, forbidding the access to the chamber to anyone. Something to hide, have they? What has been found inside the chamber that motivated authorities to deny access to civilians? Before 2015, the entrance to the chamber was completely closed, and authorities eventually managed to enter inside it. If he pays attention to the doors at the entrance, you could notice some conical signs pointing below to the underground. Could these symbols refer to something occult and extremely important? Links again in the description. Seriously, have a read and watch the video in that one. It's very, very interesting. The TV series Stranger Things Happened from Mind Control, Brainwashing and Monster Theory claims Stranger Things happened in real life in secret government project. US government's top secret Montauk project allegedly involved kidnapping kids, mind controlling experiments and time travel. Spine-chilling stories about the sinister goings-on at Camp Hero Air Force Base in Montauk have long been the stuff of local legend. Since the 70s, all tales have surrounded the derelict facility in Long Island, New York. Most concern the US government's top-secret Montauk project, which, so the stories go, involved kidnapped kids, mind control experiments, time travel, physical brainwashing, aliens and petrifying otherworldly beasts. If this is all sounds familiar to fans of the Emmy-winning Netflix sci-fi hit Stranger Things, that's because the experiments which allegedly took place in Montauk are the inspiration for the show. Stranger Things, which stars Winona Ryder, 45, and returns for the second season October 27, was originally titled Montauk, but creators, the Duffer brothers, Matt and Ross, ditched that name and transferred the setting to the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana. They declined to explain why. It's because they didn't want you to know it was based on real American government experiments on children. The Campero base in Montauk was allegedly the home of a sinister project. Series 1 created on a missing boy trapped in another dimension, a powerful psychic girl called 11 who escapes from a secret government research lab, and dark experiments which unleash a terrifying monster and stalks the town. It sounds far-fetched, but has chilling echoes of real-life reports surrounding the Montauk project. Preston Nichols from Long Island claims he was an electrical engineer in Montauk in the early 80s. He said, "I found myself on the Screwball project, which became known as Montauk Project." Telegraph. Police using AI tech with trouble secrecy. Plans drawn up by former MI5 chief would author authorities to be more transparent. Blair saw EU funding while trying to stop Brexit. Kylie, I was so lucky. You remember the Illuminati? You had breast cancer and it was treated by the many cures, and you ain't got it no more because you're one of them. New Year honours blunder as recipients' addresses are published online. The fail. The Morgan Awards. Piers picks his Saints and Sinners of 2019. Minister's bent polo team visa rules for the Queen. Home Office chiefs eased clampdown on illegal migrants to appease palace. All corrupt. New Year in Mystique. But what racy gift did Carrie get Bojo? Oh, it's that. Express. It's gone wrong. Honours star in security farce. Why 2020 is make for or break for the parasites. EU will lose Brexit trade deal fight. They're all working together. There is no fight between them. They're all working to the same plan to delay it as long as they possibly can, and then they'll say, oh, well, you're tied into the Lisbon Treaty now, you can't get out. There's no getting out. It's a scam, and it always has been, as I've said all along. They'll just keep kicking it down the road till this 2020, 2021 time comes in when we're tied in, unless we stand up and take this country back from these evil satanic bastards. The Observer. Prisons chaos fuels massive legal bills as violence surges. Shock figures reveal 30 million a year claims. Experts blame cuts and overcrowding. Britain bayowed by Bosnian bombast and an ocean of waffle, now blindly bobs in a storm-tossed world. Honest fiasco, 1,000 addresses revealed. Mirror. Runaway Brit shot. Speedboat killer plots to wed from jail. Thames tragedy, fugitive plans to marry Georgian lover after he gets divorced. And that's front page headline, that is. Not we've got thousands of people on the street sleeping rough in this sort of conditions. That men, women and children. Not we've got nurses having to go to food banks because they don't get enough wages to be able to afford food. No. Speedboat killer plots to wed from jail is a front page headline. Can you see why we shouldn't be reading any of these shit sheets? People. 2020 must-see films at note. Pell fell, West Ham coach sacked. Bosses banned me from Strictly. Why did cops secretly keep my baby's organs? Mum's fight to open floodgates for hundreds of families. Because they're involved in the cover-up, that's why. The Times. Lives at risk after honours list fiasco. Top Mandarin under files as stars addresses leak. Stars my arse. Great to see you, BBC. Nice flight. It's that child twat. Corbyn allies cast out on frontrunner to Labour leader. Revealed prisoner who sent Tesco's cards from Chinese jail. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your maturity. All I'm saying is when you promised me a special treat for dessert, I'd kind of set my heart on apple crumble. Female scientists have discovered a new plant. It's called clitori. Male scientists believed to be still looking for it. Your thigh, your left thigh, your right thigh, my face. Jack and Jill went up the hill so Jack could lick her candy. But Jack got a shock and a mouthful of cock 'cause Jill's real name was Randy. Let me get mouse bummed. I think you mean rat horse, Brian.